Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Silly comment of the week goes to this guy. And here was my response. And what more can I say? I don't control the adverts. I control if it has adverts, but I don't control where they are, what they do. There might be a setting for that in there somewhere, but I do not have the know-how, the skill, or the time to do it. Adverts are on, they're normally 5 seconds, you skip them, you carry on. That's what we all do, that's life. Positive 5 of the week goes to someone called Sarah. Sarah asked for my address a while back, and I was a bit dubious because I don't like giving out my address. I don't like receiving gifts either, guys. That's the truth. And it's not a weird thing. It's more that I like to be giving. I feel like I have enough of everything. I am not rich. I am not. I live in a council house, but I prefer to be giving than taking. Anyway, Sarah sent this lovely gift here. And she sent it from either her own company or a company that she supports, and they are called... I'm not looking. sillysentiments.com or filthysentiments.com. I think it's the same website. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. Go and have a look. It's personalised mugs, key rings, stuff like that, and it's the stuff our channels we will quite enjoy. So have a look at that, order a couple of bits if you feel like it's for you. That will really support her. Otherwise, welcome back. Let's see what's going on with our lexmoto. So yes, welcome back. Here's the lexmoto. It held fuel all week. That's great news. What happened was the original throttle cable had snapped. You see, it's only got one bit there. It's meant to have two so that the cable can sit in exactly like this new one here. It might also explain why it was going back and not stopping. So I need to put this in and see how it all feels on the bike. People like the rough tank look. I think you're probably right. I'll find the pads to put back on, and then I think I'm just going to leave it as a kind of rough looking tank. That's it. In my head, this bike's worth what, $650, especially as it hasn't got the logbook. It's all clear. It's all checked and clear. To fill out that, you have to fill out that fee 62 form, and then it takes kind of 8 weeks-ish to come back, which I just hate. I hate sitting on bikes once they're ready. I can get this in MOT soon and sell it on. So I'm thinking, for what the bike is, there's no point going too nuts with the tank or anything else. Everything works. It starts, runs, rides. It's got the carb conversion. It pulls stronger than original. It's kind of okay to go. Although I do, of course, need to look at the lighting system because something's not currently working there. It's probably just an unplugged something. Otherwise I can run the wires anyway, direct from any power wire once the battery's turned on. So I'm going to chuck on the new throttle cable and see if we still kind of have play issues. I don't think we will, but let's see. Let's chuck it on and see how it feels at the moment. That's kind of step number 1. So there we go. Normal throttle now. This bike hasn't been started a week and the battery's not the best, but you never know. Ooh, what is that? A little bit of fuel spill. Where's that coming from? It doesn't... Is it coming down here? Where is it? It's a small amount. It's not dripped. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Right, up his choke on. See if we can get this thing started out of curiosity. It's been sitting all week. Oh, I can hear a spark there. What have I done? What have I done? Where's the cap? I know what I've done. I've taken the cap off to... Why did I take the cap off? To do something, but where is it? There it is. Right, I took the cap off to, I can't remember why. Don't know. Let me throw that back on and I'm sure we might get the bike started. I took the cap off yesterday because I tried it on John's Triumph. Give it a minute to warm up. So the carb's not overly happy today, and this little, you can just see this trickle here. Problem for me is I don't like the colour. Like, whatever that is, I mean, it's fuel, but it's a weird colour. Remember when this carb turned up, I didn't pop it open or anything, so it may have had some residues in it. And also we're on a free flow system. It's kind of overpowering the carb potentially. Remember, I was still am going to order a switch, an inline switch to cut the fuel off, but saying that, it should be okay. Let me just double check that spark. Yeah, there is a residue there, so it's something we need to look at, and it's a weird colour residue. I'm going to pop the carb off, have a look, just check it all out, give it a clean, and then we'll go back to where we were. Normally, it not running with the choke off would be kind of over airflows, and I've checked all the connections and they're all good. So that's not an issue. There's no over airflow issues there. But there is this residue here, and it is a kind of browny colour. So absolutely the best thing to do, pop it off and see what's going on with it. This dribble of fuel flow in there, look, it's, to be fair, it should be enough though, but my god, that is a dribble. And also there is sediment in there, and it is that same reddy colour. So let's flush this out. I wonder if my system up here that's compressed it has caused, you know, has squished it to the point where it's flowing too slow. Looking at that there, so that's flowing into the bowl fills up, Could it be using more than that? Yeah, it probably could. I have got a better idea for the system now, and it involves a an inline, what do you call it? A T-piece or similar. Because at the moment I've kind of squashed the small line into the big line because the connector there is massive to get it down to the small nipple on the carb. But at this rate we're going to be here all day. So let's I kind of want to flush it from the bottom though, because I want to get out any sediment, and I can see the reddish stuff, and funny enough that's going to be the reddish stuff from what's in the carb. It's that kind of colour. Can you see that? It's kind of, I don't know if you can see it. It's there, look, there you go. While I'm very slowly draining that, by the way, this is the T-piece I'm going to use. I'll block off this one and I'll use that to bridge the gaps between the different size pipes. Then that will stop it compressing on itself, because that, again, look at the flow rate. I mean, kind of, so the carb will be sucking up fuel, that will be trickling it. It's probably an okay rate, but you want more rather than less. Let me pull out the Piaggio fly, bring it over here, because I want to talk about some of the suggestions you guys said. So I'm multitasking massively now. I've got a bad feeling about the intake repair that I did. If I pull the carb a touch, I can't tell if just the tape's moving or if there's a big split in there. I'm going to pop the carb out, take that off and have a look. You'd be nuts not to. It's the only way. If there's air in there, then it's never going to run right anyway. And I can order a new one online. So I'm going to pop that off and we'll have a little look. While I'm here, I just want to check the fuel pump, because that was one of the things you guys mentioned. If I suck on this suction line, we should see good flow from here. Yeah. Every bloody time. Yeah. That's quite clear, guys, that fuel pump is absolutely fine. I'm happy with that. I am going to check that manifold, because I feel like I'm going to need to get one on order. So I've checked this. I've resealed it with the stretchy plumber's tape, but it wasn't, no splits at all. No issues there at all. I'm going to put that back on. So that leaves the last piece of the puzzle. One is that this carb could be cleaned. Remember, it came straight out of wherever, it was rough. By the way, they refunded me for the carb, which was the right thing to do. It's junk. But I probably should pop it open, give it a good clean. However, the last piece of advice you guys offered, so fuel flow was one, and then it was the manifold, which is checked, and then the last piece of the puzzle was another carb, because you could get unlucky that many times. That's fair. I have, what do I have left? Here you go, I've got this bad boy. There you go. Now we know that this carb ran and rode on this Valiant, but it just wasn't refined enough because it is a bit of a dodgy carb. But we know that it absolutely did top ends, no problem at all. So I'm going to chuck that on as it is there, like that. Forget the air box for now. If it sounds like it's got more top end, then back to that carb, get it cleaned out. And the other thing you can potentially do is use one of these, buy a new one and use it. So let me swap carbs for now. I'm just going to throw it on by hand and we'll see how that goes. I think the battery for this is dead. I may have to bring up the car. And then in a minute on this, I'm just going to drain the carb using the bottom screw. Just drain what's in there. I've got a feeling it'll be gunky. And then I'll run my side tank to see if it's any better. If it is, then I don't need to mess around with pulling it all off. I just need to make sure the flow is better by doing the bridge with the T-piece. So that might be okay. That carb on there. Let's see what happens. So what setup have we got here? All the suction valves are blocked off. Direct fuel from the canister. So just to kind of get rid of all variables at this stage. That's the setup. Hopefully we have enough juice in the battery to fire up. If not, I'll go and get the car. Let's just see at this stage what what we're looking like. Also, let's make sure the spark plug's in. There. So, start up, take 2. Genuinely don't know what's going to happen. Throttle's not on, so I can throttle it by hand. Fuel is not on. Battery is dead. I'll be back. My dad's got my car at the moment, so I'm going to have to wait half an hour to get that. The more I think about this bike, the more I think it has got an engine issue. It's just not right. Even with that limited battery, a good Piaggio Fly, they start up first or second, kind of press of the button. They take seconds, they just kick up to life quite easily. I'm dead set when I eventually remove the head off this, that something's not going to be right with the piston or the bore. I'm almost dead set. But saying that, many times have I done it and it's not. Right, I drained the fuel from this. It was a weird colour. It was browny. It was a really weird colour. So this is fresh fuel from the separate tank. This should start up and go back to kind of normal once choke's off, technically. And fuel is, of course, on. There it is. So, So that's choke off, guys. So yeah, whatever happens, I probably have to dump whatever's left in that tank, try and get out any of the dodgy residue at this stage, because it was a really weird brown. I've lifted the idles, so the idles are touch high, but I just wanted, for my peace of mind, to check what was going on. Again, at this stage, it just wouldn't hurt to buy either the actual tank for this bike or the £60 one that I bought for the last lexmoto I did. Why did that cut out? Let's just double check. So that's worth considering. I think the £60 or the £50 one I bought last time, it comes with new fuel taps and stuff, and it'll be gloss black, and it's practically identical, I think, looking at it. I'm gonna have to check against my last video actually, but it would look fine.